All right, so with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and jump into the BAFTA predictions now. So we're going to do BAFTA, DGA, and a little preview of PGA here in this video. So yeah, I'm literally 67% uploaded on the previous video here. So if you're watching this one first, yeah, there is another one for Critics' Choice. Okay, for the Rising Star Award, we're going to start here. This is voted on by the public. I think with this one, I would actually look out for, I have Lashana Lynch out front, I think most everybody does, but Harris Dickinson, I think, has a chance to win here. Ariana DeBose and Cody Smith-McPhee are both nominated, potentially can win both of their acting categories, so we don't usually see that carryover. I can't even think of an example where if they've been up for an award, they've come back to win it and stuff, as well as the Rising Star Award. Okay, so in the tech categories here at BAFTA, though, even though it was funny, I was talking about, especially the production design category, I'm like, if Nightmare Alley wins both, then I'll be surprised. I think it has to surprise us here. It has to win an upset, because visual effects is Dune for me, and again, I think that's a pretty easy category for it here. The sound category is Dune, and I again, even though I think personally stuff like No Time to Die or Quiet Place Part 2 uses sound a little bit more originally, there's the cool, in Dune, I think sound-wise, I think some people like the sand creature things, they kind of like that, but also the, that guy. So it's like, kind of hurt my throat to do that. Yeah, I can't do that forever. That hurts. But that guy's pretty memorable. So I think some people will remember stuff like that. Let's see, in the makeup categories next, as my voice goes out. This again, I'm really close to picking Dune here as well. Just again, as part of that sweep. Yeah, you know what? I originally did have Eyes of Tammy Faye, but I'm just going to go with the Dune sweep here in this category, so I'm live switching that one to Dune as well. Yeah, and obviously, I think it hurts that Tammy Faye is not nominated there in the acting category, and I'm going to look again. I don't think it was nominated anywhere else. Was it? Like, it wasn't eligible for, like, a British film, I don't think. Let me triple check that. I don't think so. No, it was not. So, or on the long list or anything. No, nothing like that. So it's its only nomination, and again, without an acting anything to back it up there, yeah, I don't think it's going to win that one. Let's see. For the there's only the score category here at BAFTA, so Dune, I think, again, is a natural pick there. Though, like at the Oscars, this is the only place Johnny Greenwood is nominated, because he's got, like, Spencer was nominated there at Critics' Choice, as we mentioned. So I just think Dune, though, still, on this one. For the production design category, I'm going to go Dune here. Again, I think if Nightmare Alley is going to win at the Oscars, I think there has to be a little bit of an upset here. It has to prove it to me, in a way, if you want to go that way about it. But yeah, I think that one, yeah. And obviously, like I said, if Dune does win at Critics' Choice as well, then yeah, then we know, yeah, then it's probably got that one at the Oscars too. Okay, for the next, costume design, I was going to skip over, sorry. Costume design, yeah, Cruella, I think, wins here. Again, I have, Dune, I think, is a second place, but not a close second place. I think Cyrano also has a shot here. It's nominated at the Oscars for, I forget, is it the costume or the... It only got one of them. I didn't have it getting anything the morning of the Oscars, but I'm gonna look here. Was it the production design or was it costume design? I can't remember. It was costume design. Okay, so I have that one as a more close third. I think Dune and Cyrano could kind of battle that one out a little bit, but Cruella, I think, just seems to be steamrolling in this category. So yeah, I don't really sense that one losing anything here at BAFTA. And especially, I mean, it does take place in London, as I recall, too. So that might appeal to the voters, too. Editing, I have also going to Dune. So yeah, I think I have a grand total of 6 awards going to Dune here. Or is it 7? Effects, sound, score, production design, editing, makeup, and cinematography. I have it winning 7, yeah. Now, the favorite one, was it 6 or 7? So it's like, okay, yeah, just because something does really well here at BAFTA doesn't mean it always, carries over. But, yeah, cinematography I have also going to do. And I think, again, that one seems to really be the favorite everywhere it's going for that category. And really, I think since some of those first previews came out, we were like, cinematography, probably a good bet. Okay, Let's see. Let's go to the feature categories next. For international feature, Drive My Car. Again, I think we'll win here. Documentary feature, I have Summer of Soul winning here, but I think Flea is going to be really close here. And Flea, if it wins here, it could kind of trigger like a thing there where that can also win at the Oscars. But I'm just going to go with the front runner there and go Summer of Soul. Summer of Soul. Animated feature, Encanto, probably, yeah, that's it. Okay, then we have, over here at BAFTA, we do have the casting category. I'm going to go with that one. And your nominees here, by the way, because it's a kind of eclectic group. You've got West Side Story, which is a pretty big cast, Boiling Point, King Richard, which is a smaller cast, Dune, which is, again, a pretty big cast, and The Hand of God, which I believe is kind of a smaller cast as well. Boiling Point, I believe, is also a smaller cast, but I'm going to go West Side Story here, just on a whim. I think... Again, King Richard could win here, especially if it doesn't look like it's going to win anything else. Like actor, I don't think so. Supporting actress, I don't think so. Original screenplay, I don't think so. I have it down in 5th, actually, for that category. So it could be like a thing, okay, if we like it enough, and it actually did okay over here at BAFTA. I thought it would do a little worse than it did. Yeah, I think that one could come back to win. But I'm going to go West Side Story for that one. Okay, let's get to the screenplay categories next. Adapted screenplay, again, I think Power of the Dog probably wins that one. And again, kind of the same idea I have as Lost Daughter and Coda, both kind of fighting each other and kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Locking horns. Yeah, like deer. Not grinder. We're not going that far. No, but definitely, kind of locking up there a little bit, and both kind of fighting for that kind of passion vote in that category. Original screenplay, even though Licorice Pizza is up here for director over Denis Villeneuve and over Brana and over a few of the other ones, I'm going Belfast for screenplay. I just think, again, I have it winning one other category, but I just think it's going to win more than one. So I think original screenplay for that one. In the acting categories, again, with one exception, I think, two, technically, yeah. I think the supporting categories, I think, are going to line up. Ariana DeBose and Troy Kotzer, I think, are going to win there. Now, Ariana, I think, is, again, a little easier of a bet. Troy, yeah, I think so. Even though Power of the Dog, I think, is going to appeal to the voters here with its kind of European-ish sentimentality and stuff. It kind of feels like one of those, even though it's set... I can't remember if it's even set in Australia, but it's an Australian director and a shot there as well, if I recall correctly. It might not have been, but I don't know. Who knows? It has that kind of like Roma or Nomadland. It feels like that more European taste to it for the film. So it could win surprisingly in supporting actor, but the fact that we do have Benedict looking actually pretty good there for Best Actor. As long as Will Smith doesn't go into sweep mode there, yeah, I don't really sense them, giving it to Benedict and then also giving it to Cody. I think if they want to give it to one, I think they can give it there. And it doesn't have Kirsten Dunst, the supporting actress, though. So yeah, it's probably either going to be Benedict or it's going to be Cody if the film's going to take an acting win. But yeah, I think Troy, I think the momentum's going to keep on his side here. And the BAFTA voters, especially in the last few years here, they do like to try to get stuff right. Now, obviously, their Best Picture category or film over here, Best Film, has had some spotty history here. Because I think after Argo, they didn't get one right for a long, long time. Then finally they got Nomadland correct last year. So they're going to try to keep that streak going this year. But they did get all 4 of the acting categories correct last year. So, and technically, as we mentioned a few times here, they got the top 8 categories correct last year. But this year, it really seems like there's a chance they could miss 3, maybe even 4 of these, depending on who they pick. But, yeah, we'll get to that later. Okay, so Troy, I've winning. Again, Cody is going to be close, though. Kieran Hines, he could be close here, I think. If there's enough invoting, infighting and stuff, and again, if Belfast is, doing okay here, obviously it's not up for director, which kind of hurts, but like it is almost everywhere else. But yeah, just on the off chance they do go with him, I'll mention it, but I'm not extremely confident in that one. So yeah, I think Troy does win though. In actress, we've got quite a few that would make sense. Again, this is in a weird category where none of the other contenders here none of the contenders in general are getting nominated at the Oscars. So Elena Heim would kind of make sense because she got a couple other nominations through the season here. Lady Gaga would make a lot of sense because she was, other than the Oscars, nominated everywhere. Emilia Jones might be one that kind of almost makes sense because Coda, after the SAG win, again, there kind of seems to be some shifting there in that one. Plus, supporting actors looking decent for that one across the rest of the board here. So if they like it enough where they want to give it more than one win, again, unless they pick it for screenplay for some reason. And remember, Coda is not up for Best Picture here, Best Film. So if it ends up winning Best Picture down the line, we know for sure BAFTA can't get that one right. Unless they do a write-in or something stupid like that. But I don't think that's ever happened. So even Joanna Scanlon would make sense because After Love did get quite a bit of attention here. It's up for director. It's up for British film, if I remember right. Yeah, it is. So it's gotten and a Best Actor too, right? No. That was Ali and Ava has that one. That's right. Okay, but I gotta go with the worst person in the world actress, whose name I'm probably gonna mispronounce, Renette Renvy. So I'm trying. So I'm gonna go with that. I don't know. It just feels like, especially after I got the screenplay nomination at the Oscars there, it's like, this kind of does feel like that cool kind of pick. Even though Drive My Car is far ahead, going to be our winner there, very, very likely at, again, every award show going forward for international film. Worst Person in the World kind of feels like that cool one, in the way almost Cold War did a few years ago there, when you had Roma, again, pretty much dominating a lot of these international feature categories and sometimes carrying over to some of the top categories too. But with this one, I don't know. It just something feels right about it. It's just with this, also with the weird jury system, how they get to their nominees and stuff. If this is your field, I can see somebody like her coming through and winning. Best Actor, I'm jumping on the Cumberbatch train here. I'm picking him. Will Smith, again, I don't quite think he's powerful enough to be in that sweep mode, the way we thought Benedict was, the way we thought, I was thinking of Chadwick Boseman, sorry. It's weird because Benedict Cumberbatch is BC, Chadwick Boseman was CB. I misarranged the initials there. But anyways, we thought he was in sweep mode. Even though I did pick Anthony Hopkins that year at BAFTA, it felt like he was in sweep mode everywhere else. And we thought sweep mode was going on for Glenn Close as well. But then here comes Olivia Colman, and then that one did carry over. So, again, we're going to have to see if it actually does happen again this time. But I don't know. I think it's weird because Will Smith obviously is not... I hate to say it. He's not Chadwick. He's not dead. Oh, that sounds terrible. I'm going to make the joke, but I'm going to regret it. I know. Will Smith is not Chadwick Boseman. He's not dead. Yeah, I know. That's a terrible joke. I'm sorry, guys. And I miss Chadwick. We've got Black Panther 2 does come out this year, doesn't it? It's going to be weird seeing that one and just knowing that they've got to come up with some reason why he's not there. It's going to be weird. And obviously they're probably going to allude to it when the first trailer comes out sometime here in the next few months probably. But probably by late summer we'll have it if they keep their November release date. But wow. So it's a terrible joke. I know. And we all miss him dearly. But yeah, he's got, and he's almost, and not just because of the skin color thing too, but it's like, he's almost an amalgamation too of like, with Glenn Close, where Glenn Close, was like nominated, and it felt like this is the one, let's get her the win there, and it didn't quite happen. Now, obviously, the big difference, though, and I think what's going to help Will Smith, maybe even more so than Chadwick did last year, obviously, the one thing that I think was hurting him, other than it was a pretty crowded category, and it was like all 5 of the nominees were like, man, you could almost pick a different year, pluck one of them out of it and stick them into another year, and that the one you plucked out could have won. Riz Ahmed, if you put him up in the... let's see. I don't know. Let's just pick 2018 year, going up against Rami Malek and Christian Bale and those. Then they could have gone with, they could have gone with Riz Ahmed that year. Or 2019 when it was Joaquin Phoenix, for example. I don't know. In a weird, you almost could have put Chadwick in there, and he almost could have won. I don't know. I'm just floating ideas off my head, and those are more recent examples, obviously. But yeah, it was a tough category last year. But also, it's like, okay, we kind of, some of us I think overlooked early. Ma Rainey's is not a Best Picture nominee. With The Wife, and Glenn Close, The Wife didn't get any other nominations. So look at King Richard. It overperformed by most estimates on Oscar morning, getting the film editing category. Even though I actually had it getting 7, so it technically underperformed from my expectations. But I was a lot higher than everybody else on that one. So I think that, and it looks like one that could be a weird, especially after the Ace Eddie win too. It's like, it feels like one where it's like, okay, it could have some sporadic support in some of those other categories. Not enough, I think, where it can topple a lot of them. Like, I don't see supporting actress or screenplay going to King Richard anytime soon. But it feels like, okay, the song category, it could have enough support there where it could kind of pour over, kind of like Her last year and the Judas and the Black Messiah when that one won. What was the name of that song? I can't even remember. Anyways, but that one won. And that kind of felt like that kind of situation there. And that might be an apt comparison because it's an acting win and it's a song win. So it could pair up here. But yeah, I think again with Benedict, obviously he's got the British factor like Olivia Colman did, like Anthony Hopkins did. So I think that's enough for me. Plus it's Power of the Dog, which I think, again, arguably could do better here at BAFTA than it does at the Oscars if things go a little bit south for that film in the end stretch. I'm not sure yet because I still do have Power of the Dog winning Best Picture at this point, as well as Director and Screenplay. But again, outside of that, I think it's going to have to be one of these upset wins that gets it to 4, or more if it happens to win more than that. But yeah, I think Best Actor, yeah, over here at BAFTA does go to Benedict. Director, Jane Campion. Moving on. Picture, again, I think Power of the Dog here. British film, Belfast. I think Belfast, I don't think it's far and away the winner here. No Time to Die, potentially could get some votes. Don't forget Skyfall won this category here a few years ago. And obviously this is a 10-picture category now, and that one was 5, for a long time. Something like Ally and Ava, Boiling Point are also some favorites here. After Love could get some support here as well. I don't know. Otherwise, the rest of them I don't think are going to win. So, I don't know. Belfast, it just feels like, even if it doesn't win the original screenplay category, like I have it winning, just taking British film, I think, feels like something that could happen. So, yeah. But best film, though, I do think is Power of the Dog. So, again, I think it's going to appeal to them. I think it's more up their alley than some of the other films there. Even though, again, Belfast, I get it. It is BAFTA, takes place in Ireland, obviously, blah, 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 all that. But, yeah, I just think Power of the Dog there. All right. So, yeah, again, I think Dune is probably going to come away with the most wins, though, there at BAFTA. And, again, kind of feels like that Gravity, Mad Max, kind of one of those films as well. All right. So, again, DGA really quick. And really, for this one, we're talking more the first-time director category, because that one, legit, it's a 3-way race. Now, for best director of film, Jane Campion, I think, easily has that one. I can't even make an argument for any of the other 4 that is really sound for why they could win. No, I have absolutely nothing for that. In the first-time director category, though, Rebecca Hall kind of makes sense why she could win. Maggie Gyllenhaal makes sense why she would win. Lin-Manuel Miranda makes sense for why he would win. Now, for me, though, I think I'm going to go with an upset here, and I'm picking Lin-Manuel Miranda for Tick, Tick, Boom. And I think that's because Tick, Tick, Boom, we've seen it do okay at some of the guilds. It just won an Ace Eddie in the comedy musical category. It's also up for editing at the Oscars. Obviously, it didn't get in director or anything. But it's weird, and Lin-Manuel and Maggie Gyllenhaal and Rebecca Hall are all actors as well. So they've all, kind of gotten a little bit of sensibility about them. And it's a very large voting block for DGA. It's not just film directors, but it's like television directors, commercial directing, I mean, a whole bunch of stuff gets thrown in there when we get to DGA for who's voting. It's almost as big as with SAG-AFTRA now. It's almost as big as that voting block for the number of voters and stuff. So, yeah, Maggie Gyllenhaal makes a lot of sense. She's been winning a couple of these directing prizes when it's like Indie Spirits and Gotham as well. But I look at it too, and I'm like, Lin-Manuel would make sense because it almost does feel like I remember last year here in the First Time Director, I kind of went with a small upset, even though it kind of everybody said, oh, it made sense afterwards. The director of Sound of Metal won here. And I'm going to remind myself, what was it up against for First Time Director that year? It was, let me think here. Oh, who was the favorite to win that one? It wasn't him. He was kind of an upset. It was either, was it Florian Zeller that everybody, it was him or Regina King everybody picked, I remember. But then I looked at it, I'm like, I kind of like Sound of Metal's chances. And it did win. So I think, though, and they haven't had this category way too long, but I don't know. I get the sense that it could easily just be Maggie Gyllenhaal, and I'm overthinking it. But Lin-Manuel, I think, again, like Lost Daughter, though, I do think there's passion for that film. Passing, I think, even though Rebecca Hall, I think, again, it is a three-way race, and she could, in a kind of split vote, could come through and win. I just think Lin-Manuel with Tick, Tick, Boom, it's a more popular one. They're both Netflix films, so they're both pretty accessible to a lot of voters and stuff. I just kind of like that. I get a little bit of a sense with that one that he's going to win. And again, I could easily be totally mistaken here, and I'm overthinking it, and it is Maggie Gyllenhaal. So I don't know. If you're a betting man, probably bet on Gyllenhaal. But if you like those plus 230s, plus 250s, plus 300s. Lin-Manuel Miranda might be the one to go with there. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to get into PGA and I think we've talked about WGA enough there again with that one. But here at PGA, it's really a question of can Coda or possibly King Richard or possibly even something like West Side Story come through and kind of surprise us here for Best Picture. Here at PGA. So Power of the Dog seems to be the favorite. And PGA, they have gone with Roma before for a... No, sorry. I was overthinking it. No. They haven't gone with a streaming film. So I was going to say Roma, but no, that one did go to Green Book, remember. Now, with this, I'm thinking, though, Belfast, I don't think really has the support behind it enough. Its only win at the Globes was for screenplay, and again, that feels like one that might not carry over. And then it went 0 for 2 or 3? 0 for 2 at SAG. Feels like it could come up with nothing from Critics' Choice. It could just lose everything there at Critics' Choice. And BAFTA, outside of the British film, which is obviously not going to carry over, that one could also get shut out there again, except for the British film. But again, I'm a little more a believer in it for screenplay. I don't know, it just feels like that's not really the one to go with here. So I think Coda, even though it does have some momentum now after SAG, I don't know if that's got enough passion behind it to win. West Side Story is, again, a lot more traditional pick and stuff. It's from Spielberg, a very known commodity amongst directors and producers, especially now. But, yeah, I get the sense when that one it's kind of like a kind of boring kind of pick, I think. Again, even though it is very well respected critically and stuff, box office has been a little shaky. But and King Richard, I think I'm including it in there just in case because it is an Ace Eddie winner. But again, I don't really see that one doing really spectacularly well at the rest of the guilds. The acting win for Will Smith was a good plus there, and the Ace Eddie win obviously was big. But I don't know, it's not represented at all at DGA. Cinematographers Guild it wasn't in for and stuff. Yeah, I just I don't know. I just don't think PGA is going to be in the cards there. But I want to mention it just on the very off chance that there's again a kind of sense of boringness about Power of the Dog. And I don't know. I haven't read the whole comments or whatever, but I think I get the sense also that some people are starting to kind of not come back to it, but definitely it's getting talked about a little bit more after the last week or so when we had Sam Elliott come out and talk about it, and I guess he didn't like it. I didn't read the full comments, but he said he didn't. I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth in case he was being like homophobic or whatever. But I guess he didn't like the idea of it being about gay cowboys or whatever, which it kind of is. I mean, sort of. Not, it's not explicit about it. There's no, like Brokeback Mountain, there's no, more explicit stuff shown on screen. It's more, implied and stuff like that. But, I don't know. He didn't enjoy it. And again, I can see this one, definitely there's going to be some voters that are turned off by it because it is slower paced. It is a Western, which doesn't, again, immediately appeal to everybody. And, again, it's a kind of film where it's like, okay, if it doesn't kind of, at least get you curious enough to get you to the ending where, I can see some voters turning it off like midway through after the Cody Smith McPhee character starts to come back in. And because he's kind of off screen for a little while there, but then he kind of comes back, and then that's when we kind of start the second half of the film. If that first half doesn't at least get your curiosity enough, I can see some voters turning it off and stuff. But again, it's like then you get to the last 5-10 minutes, and it's like, oh, then there's stuff that happens where you're like, okay, now this is starting to click. Now we're starting to get a little bit more of a sense of really what this film is and stuff. So, and I think some people do like that kind of quality sometimes. So, I don't know. I just, again, I'm kind of starting to get, we've been talking about it a couple times, but I'm getting that sense of which is the one film that has everything that can take Power of the Dog down. And again, right now, I'm just not seeing any one contender that everybody is going to back. Because Belfast, it's the only one that does have PGA, DGA, SAG, the top prize nominations and stuff. But it lost SAG, lost everything at SAG. I don't think it's winning DGA. It could, again, outside of British film, it could tank at BAFTA. It could come up empty-handed at Critics' Choice. So I don't sense that one. And that one is missing one of the key elements there for Best Picture, which is editing. The editing category it doesn't have. Coda only has the 3 nominations. It was our winner at SAG, but no representation from DGA. Again, it's missing that editing category. And it's also missing director as well. So, yeah, it's not quite like Hidden Figures. Hidden Figures, remember, that one came back for after SAG. Sorry, people are texting me, so I'm kind of distracted. But for Coda, though, I was thinking, I was comparing it to Hidden Figures. That's kind of part of the reason I picked it here a few weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, whatever it was. But remember Hidden Figures? Yeah, it came back. It won at SAG there. But then it just came up empty-handed everywhere else. So now the flip of that, though, with Coda is it is starting to look a little bit better and better for supporting actor for Troy. Now, obviously we could see a train wreck happen there, and he just wins there, and then Cody takes over. Now, that could happen. But I just, again, with the momentum and stuff, I'm starting to think Troy is, again, looking better and better here. So, West Side Story, again, missing at SAG for Ensemble. It doesn't look like it's going to have a major boost in any of the other categories outside of supporting actress, so probably not. King Richard, again, no DGA. Missing director. But West Side Story is also missing editing, by the way. But and screenplay as well. But with King Richard, that one, okay, it's got screenplay, it's got editing, it's missing director, which Green Book was missing director, and Argo was missing director. That's true. But, yeah, with King Richard, though, again, it has to gain a lot more momentum than it has right now in the screenplay category. The song category should feel like it's more of a sure thing. The editing category, I think, should feel like it's more of a sure thing if it's going to have enough momentum to topple. And again, I think and then after the buzz there with the Sam Elliott comments, I think some people did come out and they're like, oh, yeah, they're wrong and stuff. And they, started getting, the film getting a little bit more attention again. So definitely if there is a sense there, among the more liberalist of the Hollywood voters and stuff there out in California who are voting for it, and they're like, no, I want to support the gay cowboy picture this time. We got it wrong with Brokeback Mountain and stuff. If they want to go that direction, then yeah, I think that could really boost Power of the Dog. But yeah. Anywho, yeah, I really don't think I have much else to say here. I think Producers Guild, I think they just go Power of the Dog. And I don't mean to say that in a boring way, but I just, again, kind of like the other stuff, I don't really see any one film that's going to upset it, unless it's a weird out of nowhere, like a Big Short, which surprised us, and stuff like that. But, yeah. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, WGA, but I think we covered it enough. I think it's original screenplay. Toss-up right now, possibly, between Licorice Pizza and possibly something like Being the Ricardos or King Richard. Adapted screenplay, again, I feel like Coda almost should have that one to itself. If anything else wins, then I would say sell any stock you have in Coda winning picture. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. Okay. Yeah, I think we're done here. So, that's a good catch-up here. Again, we'll get back to it here probably Sunday late after Critics' Choice. I believe it'll be in the evening there, Critics' Choice. But somebody didn't like the ending of the Batman. I've told myself, by the way, that for the Batman, I've got to watch West Side Story and I've got to watch Licorice Pizza first. I cannot go to see Batman until I've seen those two. So even if, friends groups or whatever, if they're all like, hey, let's go see Batman, I'm going to say, nope. I hold myself to the standard where I'm like, nope, I've got to do my other homework first. So, yeah. Or as David Letterman used to joke, I got to stay home and study for Final Jeopardy. So I got to do that with those two films. Okay. So, yeah, that's it. I will go ahead and log off now. We will be done until Sunday. I was going to look up the time there, but yeah, whenever Critics' Choice is done, BAFTA, they present them in my time zone, like kind of toward middle of the afternoon. So, to late afternoon, as long as they're keeping that schedule. I don't know if they'll do it earlier or not over in whatever time zone abbreviation that is that I don't know. But yeah, otherwise, obviously, again, like I said, it'll be bracket selection Sunday with the brackets and March Madness as well that day. So I'm going to be very, very busy. Plus, work is busy, and I might try to work a little bit that day too. So, it's busy. It's the busiest time of the year. So, that's all I got. So we'll catch everybody on Sunday after a lot of stuff is over, and we'll see if we have any idea what else is happening with the Oscars going forward.